Hey guys, so this is part 2 of my tags. So first one I'm going to do is by A Stitch in Time, and her first question is show us your favorite finish. So I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed, so I apologize if it gets kind of shaky. This right here, make sure that's on camera. This little blue bird, I gotta say, is my all-time favorite finish. I honestly don't know why. I mean, okay, well, it's obviously not finished. This is going to be framed. And it's not washed or ironed or anything yet, but, you know, it's a complete cross-stitch piece, so I consider it a finish for me. This here, I don't know. There's just something about this that I just love. Maybe it's just the colors. I don't know if that's really showing up as bright as the colors are in real life. I know the lighting's kind of dark in here. I apologize for that. So if it's not showing up well on my computer, then I will put a picture of it. But anyways, that guy's my favorite. It's actually for my boyfriend's mom. I'm gonna frame it for her. She lives in Idaho, so I thought Idaho State bird. You know, it's pretty. I think it's probably just because of the blues. Like blue's not my favorite color, but the blues in this are just so pretty. I really like it. Yeah, I don't know. It's my favorite. And her second one was show the back of your work. So here's the back of my work. I mean, I think it's pretty good, I guess. I don't know what, you know. I really don't pay attention much to that kind of thing. I mean, is there like a reason why the back of your work should be nice? I mean, like a practical reason, like, you know, if it does it affect the way the front of your work looks? Does it affect how you finish your work? I mean, if you leave me a comment, let me know. Because I know some people are like really picky on how their back looks, and I mean that's cool if that's what you know. If you want your back to look good, that's totally your opinion, and whatever. I have no problem with it. I just personally for myself, I personally care less. I mean, yeah, I don't want like craziness everywhere, but it's not really something I pay attention to. I mean, I try to keep knots out of it as much as possible, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty good. But I am just honestly curious if there's a reason why, you know, you should be concerned with your back. Or if it's just personal preferences, some people just like it to be uniform. So if you could let me know, that'd be awesome. And then her third question, how do you end your floss or your threads or start, how do you start your threads? Loops, knots, or catching the tail. I used to catch tail. That's you know, when I read the instructions when I first started learning, that's how it said to do. Then I saw someone do a video on loops, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's so just brilliant. So that is what I do. I loop to start my threads, and then at the end, I just tuck it under and snip off the rest. So catch the tail, I guess, to end the thread. I don't knot it or anything. Um, yeah. Okay. Next, stitching pandas tag. And her first question is, you could be any fairy tale or storybook character. Who would it be and why? And there's two that came to my head right away when I heard this question. First is Pocahontas. The reason I say Pocahontas is because, well, for one, she's an animal lover. Hello, animal lover here. But for two, you know, it's just I've always been fascinated with the lifestyle of Native Americans, how they're very in tune with nature, very like use all parts of nature and coexist with it, you know, in harmony and all that kind of. I mean, not really like the philosophical or the spiritual aspect of it, but just like the practicality of using every part of the land that God gave you, or if you are to hunt an animal, use every piece that you possibly can with the animal. I mean, it's just the way it is. I've always been fascinated by that lifestyle. Plus, I don't know, I love Pocahontas. I love that story. I think, and of course, I'm talking about Disney's Pocahontas. I know there's lots of other, videos and then the true life Pocahontas. But when I think of Pocahontas, I think of Disney's Pocahontas. So that's who I'm talking about. Um, yeah, just, the way she's very trying to like get the tribe and the settlers to coexist together, live together in harmony, and just be like, I guess, one with nature or whatever you would say. I just really like that. So I thought that would be definitely something that you know totally be Pocahontas. The other one I thought of was Eeyore. He's the first one that really the first thing that popped in my head. The reason I say Eeyore is because, well, okay, my mom used to call me an Eeyore all the time when I was a kid because I'm a bit of a pessimist, I admit. I like to consider myself a realist. People say I'm a pessimist. um, so yeah, I don't know, Eeyore. I actually myself do suffer from clinical depression. I suffered with it for a very, very long time, and have my ups and downs and all that kind of thing. So I can relate to Eeyore in that sense of he's always just kind of gloomy and just woe is me. I mean, I try not to be a woe is me kind of person. It's not necessarily like that way, but just the thing is just everything is just kind of sad for him. And okay, this is making me sound like really pathetic and like a really sad person. I'm not trying to sound like that. I think, I mean, I've had some pretty serious hardships in my life, both circumstantial and like physical hardships and stuff like that. So I totally can relate to Eeyore and his just kind of like, man, life is just kind of down sometimes, but um, yeah. Oh, this is making me sound like, I mean, yeah, I suffer from depression, but this is making me sound like a really sad, like, downer person. And I'm not really. It's just like, I don't know. There's just certain aspects of Eeyore that I relate to. Not all, though. So please don't think I'm just like, oh, woe is me. Life is terrible. And I'm going to go sit in my little hut and just be sad. Like, no, that's not the case. um, okay, anyways, moving on from that. Her next question: where is the most unique place you've ever stitched? Only thing I can think of is the bathroom. Not gonna go into details there because that's weird. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I've never stitched anywhere besides my house and my grandma's house. Actually, I guess I've stitched in the trailer that I stay at when I visit my boyfriend. Um, I stay in his fifth wheel, but yeah, that's not super strange because it's like on his property. I guess it's not like we're camping, or not strange, unique. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it is unique. I don't know. So yeah, his camper trailer basically would probably, or the bathroom would be the two most unique places that I've ever stitched. And what the last one is, what is your favorite pattern in your stash? Right now, I would have to say White Willow Stitching Tribal Skull. I can't remember if that's what it's called. It's buried in my stash right now. I really don't feel like digging it out, so I apologize. It's the Longhorn cow skull. That right now I'd have to say is my favorite pattern in my stash. I just got it like a couple days ago, but I love it already. I haven't stitched it yet, so whether or not it will still be my favorite pattern after it's stitched, I don't know. But as of now, it's definitely what it is. I just think it's excuse me. I just think it's really cool. I mean, it's very Western, and that's very much me. And I don't know. I've always loved animal schools. Um, I don't know if I mentioned before, but I'm actually in school, well, going to go back to school to become a veterinarian. And so I've always been really interested in the more anatomical side of animals as well. So like skeletal structures and you know how their insides work and all that. But that's good since I want to be a vet. I kind of need to know those things. So I just thought it was really cool the just skull. So, anyways, that is that. And last we have Mrs. Baker Girl's tag, and her first question: how long have you been stitching? Technically, spring of 2013 is when I first started. I did I did one pattern then. It was for my mom. I know I showed it in a previous video, so if you want to know what it is, you can go look. Because I don't have it on me at the moment. And it was basically it was backstitched. Practically the whole thing was backstitched. Just this little lady and a guy, and they're kissing like in front of a French cafe or something. Very simple design. It took me probably 4 or 5 days to work on, but again, it was my very first cross stitch, and it was all backstitching. So of course, I know backstitching can sometimes take a while. So that was in spring of 2013, and then I didn't do anything else until summer, probably like August of 2013, um, where I made the little German Shepherd doggy for Josh. And then I put cross stitching down again. I mean, I thought about it from time to time. I just never picked it up again until about September. Actually, yeah, it was September of 2014. So I would say, technically I started stitching 2013, spring of 2013, but I really didn't actually start seriously stitching until September of 2014. So it's only been a few months. Next, what's the favorite thing? Or what are your favorite things that you've bought for cross stitching? I would have to say there's two things, and they would be my Q Snaps and my Thread Heaven. I discovered both of these products through you guys on here, FlossTube. So thank you everyone for sharing your amazing products that you use and tips and tricks and everything, because it totally helped me out. I knew nothing about this. I used hoops before, which I didn't know any different. I had a scroll frame, but it's like a really cheap one from Michaels, and it's just, I don't know. I don't like it. It doesn't give me good tension. It's hard to work with. It doesn't seem to stay tight, and yeah. Personally, I just didn't like that scroll frame. So I used hoops, and yeah, I didn't know the difference, so I thought, they're great until I got a Q-snap, and oh my gosh, let me tell you, I'm never going back, because Q-snaps are amazing. I only have an 8x8 right now, but I'm gonna be soon ordering more different sizes and extensions and all that, so I can kind of do a more variety of patterns. Really, really excited about that. I just love the tension that it gives you. I love how you can kind of keep all your fabric kind of clipped up and it's not hanging everywhere, and it's easy to hold. And for me, at least, the 8x8 is what I have. It's easy to hold. No, not very heavy for me. And then Thread Heaven is the other thing that I had heard you guys talking about. And I gotta say, this stuff is awesome. I use it on every piece of thread now that I stitch with, and it has made a world of difference on keeping my thread from knotting, on keeping, it just so smooth the way that it flows through the fabric now. It doesn't get those little fuzzies as much, or fray, or whatever that it would do before. And it just, I don't know, I just really like it. So thank you all for mentioning that. Okay, her next question. Okay, still have time. Disney cross stitch. Oh, if I could stitch a Disney cross stitch, what would it be? And as I mentioned before, I love Pocahontas. Sorry, I'm just, hang on one second. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything because I'm feeling like I missed something. Okay, yeah, I did kind of, back to Stitching Panda's question when she was talking about what fairy tale character you would want to be. She also asked, have I ever gotten a cross stitch pattern of it? And so that kind of relates to this Disney one because they were Disney characters, who I said. So I'm going to kind of combine the two. No, I've never gotten a pattern of either of those Disney characters. And the Disney character that I would love to stitch is Pocahontas. Now, I don't think that the Disney Dreams collection has a Pocahontas, but oh my goodness, if they ever brought one out, like I would be like on that in 2 seconds. Like I would be all over it. I don't care how much it costs. I would buy that thing because again, Pocahontas is one of my all-time favorite princesses, and just the story is great. And plus, I think just like where she lives, being in the woods and outdoorsy and stuff, I think that pattern would be really pretty, and it would be actually something that I would be, showcasing in my home. It would actually match the rest of my decor that I have. I mean, there are other princess or Disney dreams that I would showcase too, but it wouldn't necessarily match with the rest of my decor. I think Pocahontas would. So I would love, love if they could come out with a Pocahontas for me to stitch. Or if anybody knows of any other Pocahontas patterns out there, because I don't really know where to look, because I know there are a lot of people who make them but don't necessarily have a license to make them. I know there's been issues with copyright laws and stuff like that. I don't really know how that works, and so I'm kind of nervous to buy a pattern from somebody, so like on an Etsy store or something, because I don't know. I don't want to buy something illegal, that's been copyrighted or whatnot. So, yeah, if anybody knows of any where I can find some cool Disney patterns, please let me know. And yeah, I haven't gotten any Eeyore things either. But anyway, so Disney cross stitch, and what would it be? The one that they do have out right now that I've seen is the Thomas Kinkade Disney Dreams Cinderella. I would really like that. Cinderella is another of my top princesses that I really like. And I actually really do like the Thomas Kinkade cross stitch of Cinderella. I think it's very pretty, and I think it would be something that I would enjoy stitching on. So that is definitely the Disney cross stitch that I would want to do. Another one that I don't think they have is Aladdin. Aladdin is another, again, another favorite. I mean, obviously they're all amazing, all the Disney princesses, but Pocahontas, Cinderella, Jasmine, they're way up there in my list of favorites. So if they had an Aladdin one, I would definitely stitch that as well. Okay, and last question. We're almost done. Last question. Which is your favorite, or what is your favorite cross-stitch magazine or book? Now, I don't have any. The reason for this is I don't really have a budget for cross-stitching. I mean, it's very, very small. And so I have not been able to afford to subscribe to any magazine subscription. And I mean, to be honest, I don't even know much about what's out there. I mean, ones that would fit my style that I like or not, I have no clue. So I want to look into that, as time goes on. But just right now, it's just not very practical for me to have magazines. Just price wise, I'd rather spend that money on buying a pattern that I know I'm gonna love than on a magazine that only maybe has one or two patterns that I like. And that's just where I'm right now. And books, same thing. I mean, I don't know. All I have are my little leaflets. I guess the Stony Creek. I guess you can say those books. I don't know if you mean like the Teresa Winslow books or something. Scooter, hush. Sorry, my dog. He's in my bed with me, and that's why the camera was shaking when he barks. Apologize. But yeah, I don't have any favorite cross-stitch books. Again, with a really low budget, I can't really splurge on stuff like that right now, anyways. So, maybe I'll save up for some, but currently I don't have any favorites. So, yep, that's it for this video. So if there's any questions that you think you want me to go over or add on to this, let me know. Thanks for watching.